Hello, and welcome to the series I like to call Micah Impulse Bought Something, so now we're turning it into content. What brought us here today? The vault. Build-A-Bear's vault, that is. Today I impulse bought the vaulted Halloween pumpkin cat from 2008. Are they adorable? Yes, of course. Did I need them? Yes, of course! So that's why we're here. We're turning it into content so I can write it off as a business expense. Go Texas! Are we doing that? I don't quite know yet. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. I'll figure it out. Holy shit, you guys. Not only did I come back with a microphone, I came back with news. You know how a few days ago I was like,
oh, I just impulse bought this one plushie from Build-A-Bear. No big hype, you know.
Oh, this time, there was hype. Not just regular hype, mind you. Hype as in, people are literally like yelling at each other on the internet because the thing sold out within a couple hours. And the batch I bought mine from wasn't even the first batch they put out. A couple days before that, they released them for the first time, but didn't promote it on any social media, so nobody knew except the people who were really watching, or the people who had the leaks. And I have no idea how fast those sold out, but with my batch, I got it maybe 4 hours after they announced it. A mere 4 hours after that, they were completely sold out. And on top of that, people were having so much trouble with the website and their orders that people thought they had it and then they didn't. It's honestly got me really panicked. Because at that point, I could not get this cat any other place. It was not in stores yet when I was freaking out, and it was already sold out online. So if my order somehow did not work, I wasn't getting the cat. Thankfully, it seems like it did work. Until it didn't. Let me draw you a little map. So let's say I live at this green dot. That's my house right there. And let's say Pumpkin Kitty came over from the orange dot. It seemed like a straight shot. They were going up, 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 stopping at a couple places along the way. And then when they got to this dot super close to my dot, they turned around and went back down. After stopping at that one, they went back up and to the right. It's closer, but still like an hour away. And then they said it was out for delivery. An hour away, out for delivery? What is happening? So I start looking up, why could my package be backtracking? And there were a lot of reasons, but my brain honed in on the one that would be disastrous. My package could be lost. And now I'm panicking. My heart is beating and I'm about to pass out. And so I'm here like, will my pumpkin kitty make it? Oh, what? Oh, she's here. Okay, it's time. Oh. Oh my goodness. Oh, hello there. There she is. Oh my goodness. The fur is so good too. Oh. Okay, here you go. Oh my goodness. She's so cute. And the fur is amazing. The fur is so amazing. This is the type of fur that I won't ever let go. Like if a plushie feels like this, it's forever mine. Never, ever will I ever get rid of it. Holy crap. Oh my goodness. And I was so worried about the face pattern because people online were being ridiculous about the face patterns and they're making it such a big deal, and I didn't even think about that when I ordered it, and then now I'm like, oh, it's so cute. And it really 100% doesn't matter. What matters is how soft and adorable and cuddly she is, and she is all of those things. I'm just glad she's finally here. But we do have to do a little surgery. Now, I'm sure you're wondering what I came up with to make this a video in the first place. I decided I am going to be weighting this pumpkin kitty, and maybe making a little accessory. This video is really for all my Build-A-Bear fans out there. If you've seen any of my TikToks, it's probably one of my Build-A-Bear unboxings, where I put one of my handmade plushies into a Build-A-Bear box and then take it out of the Build-A-Bear box. This is not me trying to trick anyone into thinking they're actually Build-A-Bears. Anyone who knows Build-A-Bears knows that my plushies don't look anything like them. I use wildly different patterns that I made myself. This is just because I think it would be amazing to design a Build-A-Bear. Point is, I love Build-A-Bear, you love Build-A-Bear, why not do a little Build-A-Bear video together, yeah? Cool. Now I'll let guest Micah take over from here. So as you already know, what I'm gonna be doing is weighting this plushie because I love a weighted plush. And with this fur, oh my gosh, it's gonna be perfect. I will never put her down. So here's what I'm gonna do. We are going to be unstuffing this little cutie and making her heavy. We'll do that by taking out all the stuffing, obviously, through the stuffing hole in the back. Then I'll put little bean bags in all 4 of her limbs, and one more big one right there in the belly. If you want to do this at home, you can use a couple different things, including beans or poly pellets. I use both for various plushies, but mainly just use beans for plushies that I'm going to be keeping for myself. That's because they're cheaper and heavier, and I love me a heavy plushie. So let's get to it. Let's start out by finding the seam. There should be a little zigzag pattern right here, and you can kind of feel that it's a little different from the other seams. Then I'll use my handy dandy seam ripper. Oh, and her heart's right there. And the little paper, can't forget about that. Oh, this is the same kind of heart that was in my first ever Build-A-Bear. Technically, my sister made it for me, and I was always told that the reason the voice box didn't work in it was because she gave it a patched heart. But this is perfect. Now we're gonna empty all of the stuffing into this garbage bag to keep for later. We're not throwing it away. Okay, the body is unstuffed, and you know what this is actually telling me right now? Yes, this empty skin of a Build-A-Bear. Well, as I was reaching in to pull out all the stuffing, I am really feeling the fabric on its own. And this stuff is thick. And thick fabric, not just the fur, but like the backing too. That is the sign of a nice, good, expensive fabric. Let me show you the difference real quick. First, here's Pumpkin Kitty. The fur on her is so thick. Not just the outside fur, but the inside too. This is like solid. And it doesn't let any light through either. Then we'll take a look at some of this fabric. This is some cheap stuff I ordered off Etsy a long time ago before I knew what I like to work with. And I don't know if you can tell on camera, but I can already see my fingers through the fabric. This fur doesn't have a great feel to it, but it is actually somewhat similar to this, just not as soft, and definitely not as thick. And I don't think it's just the color either. In fact, I know it's not. I have different colors. This is just the one I'm demonstrating with right now. So already the fur is not as dense, it's not as long, it's not as nice feeling. It's also super see-through. And this, while it's a similar type of backing, is not as closely knit. Meaning this is not a fabric I would use for pretty much anything. Now let's get back to fixing up this pumpkin kitty. I'm gonna be using pantyhose to hold the weight in place. You don't always need to use these, but if you want them to stay in place, you probably should. It doesn't have to be pantyhose per se, just something that can contain the beans in place. So that could be a pouch made out of scrap fabric, or even something like a sock. But make sure it's big enough to hold all the weight you want. And make sure you know how to sew thinner fabric like this if you were to use pantyhose. The bags are all done, and now it's bean time! Holy crap, my shoulders are tired. I just need a bigger funnel. But I think I have the bags done. I just need to sew them closed and then I can put them in the kitty. You hear that? You're almost ready. I think I just poked a hole through my bean bag. I don't really know what to do, kitty. Your legs are not accommodating for the beans. Oh no. Okay, that was a mess, but I figured it out. First off, there was some stuffing still left in the feet. And that was part of why I couldn't get the bean bags in. The other part is that I think they were just too big. I tried to go for 2 scoops, and apparently that was too many. So now they're all down to 1. That'll make the legs a little less heavy, but if I put a little less stuffing in, it might still give the same effect. Of course, the overall weight of the plush will not be as heavy as I wanted it to be, but you win some, you lose some. That's what you get when you did not design the plushie yourself. So let's hopefully get these bean bags in. And the beans are in! Well, the feet, that is. We are not putting the beans in the belly just yet. First, we have to stuff the legs. Already, I kind of love it, even without any stuffing in. So let's get to that. Okay, now I know there's a bit of stuffing left, but that is because we added a lot of beans. So the space that the stuffing was taking up, the beans are now taking up. And this is not the first time I've done this, which means I do have a spot to put this for future use. Right, in you go. It's the fluff bin. So I guess this means it is time to close her up. First we'll put our kitty on the operating table, and then it's time to put in the most important pieces, the heart and the tag. We'll give the heart a little kiss, give it a little rub on the head, and then we'll stick both right in the back. Now we can get to hand sewing. I'll just be using some regular old orange thread. She's sewn shut, we'll give her a little brush, and she'll be ready to go. Okay, she's adorable and ready. Ready for accessories, that is. See, we're not done here. Hey, it's Micah from the future, and I'm here to tell you about the accessories. But first, if you could just hit that little button over there. You know, the one that starts with S and ends with D and should be gray with a little bell next to it? Your button doesn't look like that? It's red and ends in an E. That is so last season. You better fix that. Just a little tippy tap and it should be in season. The spooky season, of course. Now that that's all sorted out, let's talk about the accessories. Initially, I was gonna make her a dainty, cute little collar because I didn't really like the look of like a fully clothed cat. And I also didn't want just nothing on her. But then at some point I changed my mind. She's still not gonna be like fully clothed, but I decided to give her a little beanie and a scarf. You're all cozy for fall. And I did get one accessory from Build-A-Bear. I'll show it to you over at the desk. First things first, the pumpkin spice latte. It is so cute. It is the only accessory I wanted for my pumpkin kitty. At least the only official accessory. It's just perfect. Perfect colors, perfect design, but this is adorable. Okay, I'm back and look at what I found. This fabric right here is an almost perfect match to the pumpkin spice latte. So what I'm thinking is hat, scarf. You feel me? Great, let's go. Now, let's get sewing. Going well. At first I thought the hat was gonna be like way too big, but I kind of like sort of semi tried it on the cat and it fits. It should fit. I was also worried that the scarf was gonna be too short and too long at the same time. So who knows how that's actually gonna turn out. The only thing I'm really worried about is the ear holes. Like, I feel like I should have put those in before I sewed the pieces together, but I wasn't entirely sure where they should be placed, so I thought leaving them till later would be best. And I think I can still do it relatively easily. It'll just be a little bit tricky maneuvering the fabric. But there's not really that much left to do, so I'm gonna get back to work. Okay, let's see what we have here. I am gonna need to cut some ear holes. Put the hat on the cat and then put pins where the hole needs to be. Then I'm just gonna copy the measurements from this side to this side and hope for the best. Now I just need to hand sew the scarf. So let's get sewing. Yes, I added a little heart to the hat. I felt like it needed just a little something. Part of me wishes I had went with a pumpkin, but it's too late now, it's a heart. So let's get my girl dressed. Okay, she's just about done. But before we move on to the glamour shots, I want to say a big thank you to my patrons. They're the ones who make these videos even remotely possible. And they get really cool and interesting benefits too. Like the ability to vote on what plushies they want to see next, some exclusive coloring pages and phone backgrounds, behind the scenes content, patron only videos, and they get to know what I'm making next more than a month in advance. So check out patreon.com/SoMega, and now it's time for the glamour shots. With the glamour shots all done, it is time for us to snip the tag. Of course, I will be keeping the tag for sentimental purposes, but now she can be as cuddly as intended to be. Thank you all so much for watching. Me and Custard really appreciate it. Oh yeah, I decided to name her Custard. And I know this isn't my typical kind of video. If you're one of my regular viewers and you decide to give this video a chance, thank you so much. And if you're new here and really only like Build-A-Bear, I think you might like some of my other videos too. They're not Build-A-Bears, but some people say that they are better than Build-A-Bears. I know, it's wild. And if you like things that are a little spooky, make sure you check out the video on the right. I love spooky cute plushies, and I think you will too. And with that, I'll see you all next time.